Every car has a story.
Like the best thing ever.
For some, they end up here. Hi, I'm Gary Nichols. My team and I rescue cars from this. Here at Radical Rods, Rides and Restoration, we restore vehicles, giving them a renewed lease on life and preserving their stories so they could be told right here on Radical Restoration. On this episode, what we're going to feature is what we call the Hot Rodder's Dream Car. Two 1941 and 40 Willys Coupes. Beautiful cars, great detail on them. I hope you enjoy this episode. Well, we finally got a break from the winter weather, and for a sunny day out, we thought you'd show a couple of really nice Willys Coupes. Chris came up from Toronto, brought his up for the day. These cars originally were manufactured in Toledo, Ohio. And just after Willys Overland had come out of bankruptcy, this is when they started on these cars. They needed something new and fresh. They came out of bankruptcy in about 1936. And then 37, they started to design the Willys. And they changed the name of the company to Willys Overland Motors. The problem with these cars is, great looking car, but all they had was a flathead 4-cylinder in them. So the engines were notorious for blowing up. So they were a prime target for all of the hot rodders to take them and put V8s in them and take them to the drag strip. And that's where the real history of this car came along, was the gassers. And they became a legend at the drag strip. This one is a fiberglass body. The originals are just almost impossible to find. And even if you found one in a field, all rotted out, if it was a true steel one, it'd still be probably worth about $40,000. So a lot of manufacturers are doing these fiberglass shells, and the quality of them is pretty good. This one has the LS Corvette motor in it. The true favorites, they like to put blown, either big blocks with blowers on them or Hemis with blowers in them. That seems to be the typical style of this car. Most of them are tubbed out at the rear, which allows for the much bigger tire. The body styles are just gorgeous, the long sloping back. These were considered fat fender cars, sort of 1936 to 40, 42-ish. You would see these cars, and they're just a great style. In 1940, they went with the split grille. And then in 41, they went with the fine tooth grille, where it was solid without any center section. This car we did approximately about 8 years ago now. And what this is a stroked small block Chevy. And we did this injection unit. It's actually carbureted, it's hidden underneath. You can see here. These are hard to get functional on the street, but this is a great look because it gives it that old gasser look. This car has a tube chassis in it, turbo 400 automatic, has the narrowed 9-inch Ford rear end. As you can see here, we took the purple Real Fire paint all through the front, and then we've dragged it inside with the purple in the seats and the door panels. It's a very neat car. Over the years, this is one, I would say probably 30 plus trophies, Chris. Yeah, still picks up best paint after 8 years. It's got a few marks in it, but Chris drives it.
Hi, my name is Chris Hayes. I'm from Mississauga, Ontario. I've always dreamt of owning a 1941 Willys Coupe since I was 15 years old. I watched a movie called Hot Rod that most hot rodders watch, and they dream of owning one of these vehicles. I purchased an all-steel vehicle back in the late 70s, and I started rebuilding it to be a gasser, which is the front end is high and the back end is low. But then I was injured at work where I broke 3 vertebrae, and the car sadly had to sit in a garage and for about maybe 8 to 10 years, and I finally decided that I had to get rid of the car. When it left, I actually cried. And I came inside and I was just crying like a baby because, you know, your dream has suddenly gone. We went for a drive one day and we came across in Innisfil at the time Radical Rods and Rides, and there was a big trailer out there with the Willys on it, and my wife says, why don't we just take a look inside here? And I went, okay. As I'm looking at the car, drooling, my wife is talking to Gary, and my wife Susan, she sat there and came back and said, well, you're gonna buy this car. And I said, no, I don't have money. She goes, don't worry, this is your dream. It's going to become a reality. From there, through Gary, we had this car built. Originally there was a 392 Hemi in it, but wanted something with a little less horsepower so it's not as radical. You're getting thumbs up from people. You're getting all kinds of people just like, stop, pull over. Let me look at your car, let me look at your car. There's one part of this Purple Haze Willys here that I've never seen on another vehicle is the steering column. The steering column on this vehicle is a one-of-a-kind, basically. In all the shows I've been to, I've never seen an actual steering column like this. If you take a look, my steering column is right here. It's a chain drive steering wheel column. It's not like where the pole comes out. This is a one-of-a-kind from the Wizard. And you don't see anything like that no more. It's a 383 stroker. It's pumping out in between 550 and 600 horsepower. So it's fun.
Thank you for joining us. My name's Gary Nichols. Until next time, may all your rides be radical.